All right, let's have fun. Let's do a retrospective on our old friend, Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh, man.
Carson 2016. Vote and support Ben Carson for our next president and be awesome.
And the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
I think the likelihood of Hitler being able to accomplish his goals would have been greatly diminished if the people had been armed. A lot of people who go into prison straight, and when they come out, they're gay.
So did you really tell a gunman to point the gun at someone else?
I just told them, I don't think you want me, I think you want the guy behind the cash register. I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that. And it may be that you can't understand that having not lived on the streets, but that's a very easy distinction for me. Obamacare is really, I think, the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery. And it is, in a way, it is slavery, in a way. I had a chance to meet General Westmoreland and go to Congressional Medal of Honor dinners and was offered a full scholarship to West Point. I said, Lord, medicine is the only thing I ever wanted to do. I always thought that's what you wanted for me. And yet, it looks like I'm going to fail chemistry. I'm not going to go to medical school. And when I went to take the test the next morning, it was like the Twilight Zone. I opened that book and I recognized the first problem. It was one of the ones I dreamed about. And the next, and the next, and the next, and I aced the exam. I love Harriet Tubman. I love what she did. But we can find another way to honor her. Maybe a $2 bill.
Wow.
He'll give her 1/10.
Big props to the editors at TYT because they put that down right there.
Yeah, that was J.R. Jackson doing his great work as usual. So you forget how bad they were.
That's not everything.
Yeah.
Look, first of all, we left out that the reason that he aced the exam was because an archangel came to give him the information. That the belt buckle thing, the fact that he tried to murder every relative he had at one point or another, and that he thinks that the pyramids were created to store grain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so a lot of his ideologies come from that religion.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Quaker. And,
yeah. So we kind of broke this story that nobody paid attention to because one of our viewers actually, always too strong, you guys helping us out, sent videos where he explains his views on Seventh-day Adventism. And it turns out there's two great Satans that Seventh-day Adventists worry about. One is the Catholic Church, so he thinks the Pope is going to bring around Armageddon, and you got to watch out for the Pope.
I'm with him on that.
Okay.
the Antichrist.
Yeah,
Is the Antichrist. The Pope is the Antichrist. Okay. And the second entity.
Well, what a better way to hide him.
In a church.
And the second
hat could hide horns.
Entity that's going to bring out the end of the earth is the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? He was running to be the head of the U.S. government.
That's amazing.
And his religious ideology is the U.S. government kills us all, right? Like, so, but how could we brought out the videos, we presented that story, and everybody's like, oh, so that's what he thinks. That's when he was leading. Remember, he was the only other guy other than Donald Trump who briefly, for a little bit, led. Okay?
Yeah,
otherwise,
like
Trump led the whole time. He led for about a week to 2 weeks, right? And we're like, this guy thinks that the U.S. is the Antichrist and the Pope is the Antichrist, and together they're going to destroy the earth. And everybody's like, yeah, ho-hum. No, we don't like to talk about people's religion. Well, if it's relevant, right? You talk about people's religion when it's Islam, and you want to ban them all, right? But when we got a lunatic running for office, you don't want to talk about it. But to me, the two things that are most important in terms of Ben Carson, because he's a massive clown, right? I mean, but is the particular way that he's a clown. His whole career was built to justify racial stereotypes. Yep. So, hey, white people, you were right. I was a savage beast. That's why I tried to stab my friend and hit the belt buckle. Really? You happened to hit his belt buckle and then the knife broke? What a bullshit story. Who in their right mind could believe that? But he put that in his books. And the white right-wingers ate that up. Oh, they're like, oh, yeah, the savage. And then he tried to hit his mom with a hammer. None of these stories are remembered by anyone else in his family. And what a weird thing to brag about. To say I tried to murder my mom with a hammer, I tried to murder my friend, etc., and to make up these outlandish stories. Why would you ever do that when you're a respected neurosurgeon? Because what you do to sell books and to get speeches that pay you a lot of money is you appeal to racial stereotypes that white right-wingers have. And then you know what cured him? Jesus.
Self-hate.
Right.
Tamed the beast.
What was
So-
the other
He went
one?
on a book tour, and Trump went on a book burning tour. A little bit different.
And the final part of that was the archangel stuff, right? So, hey, I was a savage and I was violent like all black people. You're right, white folks, right? But Jesus Christ cured me in this famous thing he recounts. He's in the bathroom for 45 minutes. Jesus comes to him in the bathroom, a curious place. Anyway, for somebody, and then he goes, oh, okay, I realize, no, I should be peaceful and I should go become a neurosurgeon instead. But you can't have a smart black man. So in that chemistry test, he did ace. That's true. But it wasn't because he was smart. It's because an archangel came to him in his dream. He didn't earn it. A black guy can't earn it, right? Jesus had to show mercy on the poor black guy and teach him in his dream. Yeah. Otherwise, he was going to fail it. So that's what disgusts me about Ben Carson, that he makes money and he got everything. You know, you were a neurosurgeon. You didn't need the rest of it. But you did it to make an extra buck and go, oh, yes, sir. You're right, sir. I was savage and I was stupid. And the only thing that saved me was the Lord Jesus Christ. By the way, later I'd like to, America is going to destroy us and so is the Pope. But anyway, that part let's not talk about. So again, like Jeb Bush, seems like, oh, what a goofball. It's you almost kind of like him. He's so stupid, right? But his actual path is one that is really hideous.
He's the doctor that reminds America that we have a mental health crisis.
That's ironic.
That's a good one.
What was his campaign slogan? You snooze, you lose?
Corporate media?
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Join the Young Turks. Be the independent media. Get all of our shows commercial free. tytnetwork.com/join. Ooh, I thought that was pretty good.